Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now May 2nd of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that as of this moment right now, a lot of fixes and changes are being made over at Lucasfilm by Disney CEO Bob Chapek and previous CEO Bob Iger, who, by the way, is helping out over at Disney while we're going through this entire crisis that's happening around the world. Now, when we look at Lucasfilm, it's getting a major facelift, and what I mean by this is that Disney is essentially hiring new creatives. They're promoting some of the creatives as well over at Lucasfilm, such as Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and even bringing in creator George Lucas to have a major impact on how the future of Star Wars will essentially be shaped and how it's really going to evolve. Now, of course, we got over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects in the early development phase for Disney+, which really is a lot because that's all separate from the movies. So that's over 10 projects in the works for Disney Plus alone. That means 10 different TV series are in the early development phase by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, the thing about this is that there's one project that Kathleen Kennedy has full creative control over, just one, and it really seems to be her last hurrah, if you will, and that is the all-female-led Star Wars TV series that is going to be created by Leslye Headland. Now, obviously, a lot of fans have been giving a lot of backlash against this already, and have even already begun the boycotting process of this new Star Wars TV series that's going to be full of identity politics, personal agendas, and real-world issues. Now, with that being said, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films, as well as the new Star Wars universe. Now, currently both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are said to be working as a team in order to reunite the Star Wars fans around the world, and to properly evolve the Star Wars franchise into something new and surprising for fans. Now, their plan is to make it more successful than the MCU, and that they want Star Wars to go beyond its limits. Now, though Kathleen Kennedy no longer has creative control over any of the existing Star Wars projects in the early development phase, it's noted that she has control over one project that is being developed and created by Leslye Headland. Since the news surfaced of Headland's involvement with Star Wars, there has been a backlash from Star Wars fans and the community overall, based on what Headland wants to do with the franchise, such as bringing in identity politics to its maximum and more. Now, it's explained that behind the scenes, Leslye Headland is actually said to be very frustrated over the fact that the fans are against her project already and are already boycotting her all-female-led Star Wars TV series. Now, it's noted to be the main reason as to why she does not want to use any of George Lucas's work, because she wants to be as original as possible as she can for the new Star Wars franchise. Now, Leslye Headland is described to be very angry at the fans, creating the backlash over her new TV series, and is said to not only that, but also be changing plans, and is actually said to be not changing plans, however, for her new TV show anytime soon, and that she is already prepping pre-production with Kathleen Kennedy that is actually set to begin sometime this June, that will last until the end of the year of 2020, where they plan to begin filming the series in either late 2021 or early 2022. Now, fans are unhappy about the fact that Headland is not staying in touch with Lucas's vision for Star Wars, and that Headland is offended over the fact that the fans are already not agreeing with her approach to ignore George's vision. Now, Leslye wants to only make a show centered on identity politics more so than story, and that even Kathleen Kennedy behind the scenes is said to have a problem with the fans over their backlash and boycott against the series for Disney+. Now, Bob Iger and Chapek are said to be very worried about their image with Star Wars, given that Headland used to be the assistant of Harvey Weinstein for about 1 year, some time ago, and that it was Kennedy's idea to hire her behind Bob Iger and Chapek's back, and that, of course, Iger and Chapek want her fired from the project and over at Lucasfilm entirely. However, it's described to be a very tough process by contract. Now, the thing about this new Star Wars TV series, obviously, and I've said this before in the past, is that Headland seems to be very strict with what she wants to be made with this new TV show. It seems like that she's favoring identity politics over story, and that's pretty much a given with somebody like her, right? she seems to be someone that's not necessarily a Star Wars fan per se. We've seen that interview. I don't know if you guys have seen that interview, but she said that she really doesn't have a favorite Star Wars movie per se at all, and she actually just looks at Star Wars as a brand in and on itself, kind of like what Rian Johnson said. He doesn't really believe in universes. He doesn't like universes, and she just wants to build on what she wants to build upon. So obviously when we look at everything related to Star Wars, right, the fact that Leslye Headland looks at Star Wars like that as just an opportunity to make her own story and not focusing on the universe per se and not pertaining to a favorite film or a favorite timeline, she wants to just do her own story with her personal agendas thrown in the mix. Now that's the thing with this. That's where problems come into play here, is that Kathleen Kennedy is the one orchestrating this whole entire thing. She's the one who hired Leslye. If it weren't for Kathleen Kennedy, Leslye would not be here, and that's exactly why Chapek and Iger want her out, is because of her past association with Weinstein. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.